This time on Hak5, we go to NAB in Las Vegas to check out some cool video gear.
This episode of Hak5 is brought to you by GoToAssist Express. Support smarter with GoToAssist Express. Domain.com. Your next big idea starts at domain.com. And Netflix.
Hello and welcome to Hak5. My name is Darren Kitchen.
And I'm Paul Tobias.
That's Kirby Kitchen right there. This is a little bit of a different episode of Hak5 than you're probably used to. I'm having a little Moscato.
I'm having just some rum and coke.
And we're gonna go down the latest stories on Google Buzz or Yahoo Buzz and talk about the user submitted. Is that what we were doing?
No, that's
not
our gig.
Oh, right. Actually, I gotta tell you, a part of our gig, really, to be honest, like over 5 years ago when we got into this, was pretty much like, dude, let's get into podcasting because then we can buy really cool cameras.
You didn't buy cool cameras at first.
No, we didn't. No.
But the fact that we're making video is the awesome thing.
Yeah. We're kind of, I don't want to call us AV geeks because
we hate audio, but we like messing with just kind of the whole system of having to develop a show. It's kind of like working inside of a giant computer.
Yeah, so, there's a lot about like engineering the podcast and all of the elements of the audio and video and the whole post-production, the workflow, and all of that stuff. That's really a hack within itself, especially on the podcasting side when you're trying to do it on a shoestring budget.
Yeah, especially it's just when you get that awesome mod done, if you end up with an episode in this case instead of like, a cool case mod. But
yeah, we really should show you guys a lot more behind the scenes because we've engineered some ridiculous stuff that's like a 10th or 100th the cost of like what the professionals would do and essentially gets you 90% of it. So when we got started thinking about all the new projects that we're doing, like Hak5 Live, which is coming back, we were like, dude, why don't we just go to NAB? Why don't you tell them a little bit about what NAB is?
NAB stands for National Association of Broadcasters. It's a conference out in Las Vegas at the conference hall that we normally go to CES to, so it's huge. It's got like 5 different areas that are like 3 football fields each. It's ridiculous, but there's a lot of stuff there. Some of it is multi-million-dollar broadcast studios in a box.
They've got these gigantic display walls, and it was really fun going up to them being like, hey, we need a box that'll, do this and this and this and the little geeky stuff that we need on our end, right?
But no,
and they're like,
you'll also see things like antennas and like giant
the FM radio guys.
Yeah, megawatt antennas and
30-foot jibs, which are those crazy cranes that you put the cameras on, and like
blimp lights.
Yeah, we totally want a 30-foot jib. We just don't have a place to put it. Like it's not going to work in the garage any.
Yeah. Unless we take out the ceiling.
Or we mount it on the ceiling. Anyway, so this is really just an episode of one of the things that we are very passionate about and geeky about, and that is like all of this fun video production stuff. So it's not your normal, typical hacker kind of material that we normally cover, but really what we say at the end of every episode is trust your technolust, and we mean that. And this is something that we trust, and this is our technolust.
Yeah, and there's quite a number of things in here that have some really cool technology, so we hope it fits well.
Dude, the Mushroom Network stuff with the FPGAs and the like bonding of 4G modems and crazy UDP streams. It's really cool. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. Go ahead and let us know because I know that this is venturing into some new areas. But we'll be back next week with your regular Hak5. And until then, hit us up, feedback@hak5.org. Let us know what you think. I have the pleasure of being here with Ankit, product manager over at Blackmagic Design. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
It's exciting to see the developments that Blackmagic has gone through, especially with live switching. Before now, there was kind of a little project there with, you could get 2 Intensity Pros, and there was a software called On Air, and it was never really what I had hoped that it would become, but it seems like you guys are killing it now. This is the talk of the show. Can you tell me about the switchers that you've got coming out now?
Okay, so, well, we have a couple of switchers, and the cool thing about the switchers is that we're selling the switcher independent of the panel, so you can start live production at $9.95. And you have to provide your own control surface. What you're looking at here is the laptop software that we give you. So we give you that software. So with the software, with the switcher, you're good to go. And a couple of cool little things in there. 6 inputs, all live, multi-viewer built in. So portability wise, you can take one of these, monitor and your cameras, and you're good to go.
Right, so you could take a Mac Pro, this guy, maybe a little 10-inch HDMI, because so it gives you a little multiplex view so you can see all of your live previews.
Yeah.
And you said this is a 6 source. I only see 4 HDMI inputs there.
So yeah, the way that it's really cool because you have 4 HDMI inputs. Oh, by the way, every single input has a frame synchronizer in it.
Nice, so there's gen lock. You don't need to worry about, cutting and getting a little...
Exactly, none of that stuff. And the cool thing, so the thing with those are SDI, HD SDI. So imagine you want to run a camera further than what HDMI lets you do.
Yeah, in fact, with HDMI, what, 1.1, pretty much, what is it, 15 meters?
15 meters, something like that. With the HD SDI, you can go so much further. The way that, I said 6 inputs, there are 4 HDMI and 4 HD SDI, just 2 of them are shared.
Oh, okay,
So
all right.
Right.
And tell me about the way that it interfaces with the computer, because if you don't get your, the beautiful, control board, well, that's a $5,000 add-on.
Right.
Say like you're just kind of a hobbyist and you need, something a lot less expensive than, say, I don't know, like a TriCaster or something. This looks like a good start because, you could upgrade later, right?
Exactly. You can start with this, and what you do is you take your Ethernet. That Ethernet port there, that's how the switcher's communicating with the panel. So you take Ethernet, get it into the thing, that's it, just Ethernet communications. Fairly simple, it runs over IP. So in theory, you could be in Chicago and switching this here, in theory.
It's over IP.
Over IP.
You could do it like
it's
over
IP.
You could do it over a VPN.
You could do it over a VPN. I mean, those are possibilities out there. I mean, really, it's all possible, but of course, like you're trying to run that fader bar, you might have a little problems.
I see that.
Switch cuts, it will work.
Yeah, okay, so now if you don't want to drop the $5,000 on the control board right away, if you just want to do the $9.99 and get your cute little 1U box, and this is really thin 1U box, how are you going to control it? How does it interface with your computer, and how do you control it? Are there like keyboard hotkeys or
all the settings, and it's you can use your mouse. I've heard people talk about touchscreens, so you can do a touchscreen. I mean, look at the GUI. It looks like you can use a touchscreen, and you can. There are hotkeys, keyboard shortcuts to access the preview and program. And there you go, and I guess it's enter.
So can you do like keyboard shortcuts for this input, that input, all of the different inputs? Are they on the on the QWERTY keyboard? Or are you moving your mouse around, clicking around all day long?
You can move the mouse around and click, but we're working out the keyboard shortcuts. That's not really finished yet, so I can't say exactly how it's going to be. We're still trying to figure out what the best way to do it is.
And the interface, it's over USB 3, I see.
Ethernet.
It's Ethernet. Oh, so
Ethernet. The laptop's communicating to this over Ethernet.
I see. Okay. And then how does it save the file?
So that's the other cool part of it. There's an H.264 encoder built into the switcher.
Now you're encoding on the fly.
On the fly, encoding on the fly.
And what kind of resolutions? Are we going to be able to do
full
like
res
full HD?
Full res HD.
You must have like an FPGA or something. What do you have inside there that's crunching this?
So there's actually a Vertex, Xilinx Vertex product that's in there, and basically that's actually doing the switcher core. The FPGA for the encoder is actually the same FPGA that we use in our $500 H.264 encoder.
Wow.
So that's built right into there. I'm not 100% sure which Xilinx product we use there, but we're using a Xilinx, I'm not even sure if it's a Vertex, but we're using a Xilinx product to do that encoding as well.
Yeah, and then and it's got the horsepower to also give you those live previews on your multiplex display.
What's happening is that the audio gets embedded in there through the AES connector, and all of that, so your finished program stream with all your cuts, your transitions, all your downstream, your graphics and all that stuff is all being put on, coming out H.264 encoded over that USB connection.
And the audio will stay in sync, unlike with On Air.
Audio will stay in sync because it's all coming through here.
Okay, now what about the interface? Mac, PC, Linux?
Mac and PC. Linux? I don't know.
I don't know?
I don't know, maybe.
DaVinci will run on Linux. Maybe
DaVinci will run on Linux.
Linux love there?
It could happen on Linux as well. I mean, our code is actually really very common code and we just build multiple times. So very possible.
All right, well, exciting developments for live switchers, but you guys have even more here at the show. One of the other products that we're super stoked about is a field recorder.
That's an awesome.
If you're looking for a rock-solid domain registrar and web host for your next brilliant idea, look no further than domain.com. And forget lengthy setups. They've got one-click installs of popular open source programs like WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, and more. With .com starting at just $9.95 a year and web hosting for under $6 a month, it's no wonder domain.com is the fastest growing domain registrar and web hosting company on the internet. But it gets even better for you, the tech-savvy Hak5 fan. We've got a coupon that'll knock off 15% on your next order. Check out with code Hak5 and experience blistering fast DNS and rock-solid infrastructure without breaking the bank. Support the show and get 15% off at domain.com when you check out with coupon code HAK5. Got a great idea? It all starts with a great domain. Domain.com. Wow, that's a bright idea. All right, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the whole video blogging thing because it's easy. You just, you pull out your phone, you fire up your camera app, you point at yourself, talk like an idiot, and then upload it straight to YouTube. What could be more fun? Well, of course, if you needed a script, you couldn't just riff or something, and you wanted to write it all down. Well, dude, Prompter Pro's got the solution. Not only will they stream your script right back to you, but with this crazy rig, I now have 2 iPhones, one to record with and one to look at with script, and I'm all like, make a little recording of myself. Hey, how cool is that? This perfect for field recording, video, podcasting, or live speeches. Yes, it sure is. You could look like a freak with one of these. Yeah. I'm here with Jahit from Mushroom Networks. How you doing, Jahit?
Very good.
So tell me about the teleporter. Am I going to get beamed up?
It is, in a sense, beaming it up, but it's really a video delivery system that we developed, and it's really providing video over cellular data cards.
Okay, so the premise is I hook this onto my camera, I plug in a bunch of USB dongles, I guess I FireWire in, or HDMI in, or SDI in, something like that?
Exactly. We pretty much support any type of video interface, HDMI, SD-SDI, HD-SDI. We support the analog ones as well, but usually SDI is the standard for broadcasting or HDMI.
And then it's going to deliver the video signal from my camera over the internet to my broadcast center, my content delivery network. If I want to embed a player on my website and do like a conference live streaming walking around, how does that work with the, what is the hardware doing here?
It's actually accomplishing a couple of things. One is instead of a single connection, we have 3 connections here, but you can go as high as 4 or 6 or even 8. And what we do is we split the packet, the video, into smaller pieces, stream it over all of the links, and then in the cloud collect them and put it into a single stream again, and can beam it back to a website or a CDN of your choice.
Now, when you're streaming this out and you're chopping it up, is this over TCP or is this UDP?
We have actually, between our system and our receiver in the cloud, we have a proprietary transport scheme. And we use a lot of number crunching and our own algorithms because it really takes some calculation to intelligently schedule the packets, because we constantly keep track of how the channels are behaving and scheduling the packets accordingly.
Now, tell me about the channels. So right here you're showing you've got like 4 little USB dongles here. Say I've got a couple from Sprint, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, whoever, for 3G or 4G broadband. What kind of bandwidth can I actually expect to get best case scenario?
Actually, it is going to be a function of the underlying carrier, your coverage area, and really how crowded that area is. We have seen, anecdotally, I've seen anywhere from a couple hundred kilobits per second on the low end, all the way up to 4 or 5 megabits per second on the high end per card.
And with 4 or 5 megabits, am I going to be able to broadcast HD back to the base?
Yes, if you get anywhere around 2.5 to 3 megabits per second, you can definitely push 1080 type video quality.
Okay, so say like I'm hedging my bets because I'm at a very, I'm at a popular event where everybody's got their cell phone on, everybody's trying to do, all of the stuff that they do on their smartphones now, and so I've got a card from all of the major carriers, and all of a sudden AT&T, yeah, I'm singling them out, goes and takes a dive. How is that going to affect my stream?
What we do is we have actually adaptive algorithms in here. So we definitely take care of the clogging that might happen in the network, and you can be rescheduling the packets on different carriers to take care of that. And we do have an algorithm which adapts the video rate according to the available bandwidth. So if all of a sudden there is a dip in the bandwidth, our video encoder will change its encoding rate and therefore send a lower quality video and not get into a state where the video is not ongoing.
Okay, and what kind of delay, considering the fact that these are, transmitting individually on these 4 different channels with your own proprietary protocol, when they get reassembled, how far am I behind what's live?
It's a very good question, because one of the challenges, because this is a system that is constantly compared to a satellite broadcast system, and one of the challenges is to achieve comparable quality with low latency so that you can keep the interactivity when you're doing interviews. And we have seen a couple of second latency is definitely achievable if you get a decent quality on 4 cards. You can of course always increase that latency to 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds and have a one-way live stream. That's also a possibility.
Okay, and is it fault tolerant if I say, just pulled one of these out in the middle of the stream? Am I, as a viewer, just going to get a black screen? Am I going to have to reconnect to the stream? How does that happen for the viewer?
No, actually we protect against that as well. What we do is we have some level of FEC algorithms built into the system. So the packets that have been falling on the floor are still going to be delivered at the other end. And that's part of that latency piece as well, because that gives us wiggle room, so to speak, to correct what might have gone wrong in the system.
So tell me, how has this product evolved? I've heard that initially it was kind of using consumer electronics, and I know that it's Linux-based. That's really cool. Can you tell me more about the operating system and how the hardware has evolved?
Sure, yeah. We use actually x86-based systems, and our operating system is also an open source system. We developed it on x86 because we wanted to be future-proof for embedded systems and have a long shelf life, so to speak. So we were able to do that with this system, and actually we started as the product actually evolved from a data product. So we initially optimized the system for data delivery, and you can basically utilize this as a fat pipe, if you will, in portable locations, portable applications. But then some of our clients started pushing video over it, and then we sat down and said, why don't we optimize the whole system for video delivery from the ground up? And that's exactly what we've done with Telephone.
All right, so it's a little, Debian-based Linux box that's got an x86 processor in there, but then you've got these, capture in, you're capturing over, I see you've got S-video, some composite, I'm assuming some HD signals in as well. What kind of CPU are you going to have in there, and what kind of battery life is that going to impact when you're doing that live transcoding of HD video?
Yeah, actually, in terms of battery life, both in terms of processing as well as the transmission on the cellular cards, we definitely need something more powerful than a regular smaller battery. That's why we went with what's called the Anton Bauer battery interface. So you can use those Anton Bauer batteries, which powers the device in an active mode for over 3 hours. So you can get a pretty good juice out of it, and we had hot swapping capability as well. So if you want to change the battery while you're streaming without a loss, so you can easily swap the battery while you're running.
Okay, now I got to know, what's this going to cost?
We actually we have different models depending on the options and models, but the entry point is really low, especially compared to the ENG satellite truck systems, which can cost easily north of $250,000. Here we're talking about just over 10 grand for the field unit, and you can be live streaming to any website of your choice.
Now, how does that stack up with some of your competitors that have backpack-based solutions?
Basically, as a company policy, we don't comment on other systems, but of course we have some unique features which we believe are unique to our technology and approach. I would say the most important piece of this type of a system is the networking side. The 3G, the 4G cards is usually the bottleneck. Everything else around it is very well studied and understood. The encoders, the transmitter, receiver. Coming from a networking side, our company, Mushroom Networks, we believe we have a very good solution which addresses a low latency and high quality video streaming capability with the system.
Great, thanks so much, and thanks for the 4G card. Hey, Paul, check this out. I am getting a wicked shot here with a DSLR. And then all of a sudden I'm like, nah, you know, I got something else to do. I'm still getting my shot. This is the wrist shot. And then this is pretty cool. This guy right here kind of gives me more of a traditional, you know, like eyepiece that I would find on like a video camera. And this attaches onto the cold shoe, or onto the shoe here, and I still have a cold shoe for like an additional accessory. This is the Cinema Kit Pro. It's on like a little crane here, and I get my magnifier and I can look through right there, and oh hey, hands-free operation. How about that? This guy is 150, this guy is 190, and this is all from Hoodman. It's pretty cool. Check it out. Whoa, hands-free.
With more than 20 million members, Netflix is the world's largest subscription service, instantly streaming TV and movies over the internet and sending DVDs by mail. Netflix members can receive unlimited DVDs and internet streams to computers and televisions without worry of due dates and late fees. As a Netflix Unlimited member, watch thousands of titles anytime you want on a vast array of devices, like Microsoft's Xbox 360, Sony's PS3 game console, or the Nintendo Wii console. Hak5 viewers get a free trial membership at www.netflix.com/HAK5. Sign up now with this URL so they know we sent you.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Where's one of these with my name on the set? That's what I need. Darren Kitchen. There are a plethora of prompters here at NAB. This guy here, the Smart TP, actually goes ahead and connects to any kind of camera using a bunch of different kind of adapter plates. These just snap off. There's little pins here, and then this ring just kind of screws onto the front of your lens. Different adapters for different size lenses. The ones that I'm looking at right here on just a Canon DSLR. I got the Nifty 50 on here, and it's great because you know, you pop they've got an adapter to pop like a you know, a smartphone on, or you could do something as big as an iPad. MSRP is for $880 over at Smart TP. So I'm here with Richard at GoPro, checking out these cute little guys that record some amazing video. Tell me about the GoPro Hero series.
Yeah, right on. The GoPro HD Hero is probably the world's most versatile and durable camera. They shoot in 1080p, 720, and 960. 960 is an interesting mode. Not a lot of people might not hear of that.
So like 960 by 540?
Yeah, it gives us what we call
kind of that in between.
Well, we call it more knees and skis. It gives you more top and bottom, so you get to see your knees and skis.
Oh, so it's like a 16 by 10 instead of a 16 by 9?
Right, right. And so it's a great form factor for action sports. But with the HD Hero, as I say, is the most versatile camera. So we grew out of roots from surfing and as a sports camera, and then have grown from there. And when the HD came out, all of a sudden all these DPs and these guys that were using it for their own amusement started going, wait a second, I can use this in my professional productions. So we've got folks like the Deadliest Catch, Top Gear, all using our cameras in their productions right now. Our count is we're over 65 shows that are using our cameras right now.
Well, it's great because the price point on these are so low that to a production like that, they're almost disposable, and I'm sure they've probably been through the ringer. Now, how would they stack up against, you know, when you're switching between your footage from this and your footage from your professional cameras? Are they, you know, what's the sensors and stuff like that?
Totally holds up. In fact, I think the biggest testament that we could say is we got to go up to meet George Lucas, go to the ranch, and get to see our stuff put up there on the big screen. They're using it in one of their upcoming films where they needed to get it inside the cockpit of a B-52 bomber. So that's really what I mean by the probably a versatile camera.
Now what about the lens? Because when you're doing something tiny like that, say like you're putting in a pillar in a car or something and trying to get that Jeremy Clarkson shot, what kind of lens are we looking at here?
As far as wide
angle? The angle, yes.
Yeah, 170 degree wide angle lens. Yeah, so it's a nice wide angle lens, which really helps with the stability and the motion for it.
Now you guys sell these in several different packages, whether you're a surfer, motocross, or even what's the other?
You name it, and
you want to strap to a helmet.
Right.
How does that stack up against something like the Contour HD?
Right. So basically, the HD Hero is super versatile, so you can be wearing it on your helmet one time, you can strap it to your chest another time, you can mount it onto a pole, mount it on a surfboard. Super versatile. No other camera out there in the market has this many mounting and options as the GoPro. And the HD video quality holds up beyond any other. Like I said, major motion pictures, national TV,
Right.
TVs, all
Now,
using it.
like I said, you guys sell the Heroes in 3 different configurations, but
Yeah.
you also have these accessories. Can you tell me a bit about the accessories?
Yeah, right on. So this is one of the new things we just came out with, which is the LCD backpack. This LCD backpack just snaps onto the back of the existing HD Hero. So instead of having to buy a new camera for a new feature, and that'll allow you to frame up the shot, view video and photo playback. So instead of going out and buying a new camera for every little new feature, that's what this Hero Bust is about.
Okay.
It'll snap on new add-on accessories.
So aside from just the LCD, what else can I snap on back there?
So what you can do is then you can take 2 GoPros, and this is what we just came out with, snap them together to shoot 1080p 3D video.
Oh, okay. So now that sounds like it's going to be a pain in the butt to calibrate. I mean, it's really important that your cameras are in these exact positions when you're shooting in 3D. How am I going to do that?
That's exactly what we figured out for you. So download the new firmware, turns the cameras into, as soon as you plug in the orange, plugs in, and knows that the cameras are going to be in 3D mode.
Okay, so you can still use them as, you know,
single 2D, HD.
or if you plug these in, it just goes into 3D mode?
Right, so you're going to take the SD cards out of each camera, put them into a computer, and then use our GoPro Cineform Studio software to make a 3D video. So someone like me, whose iMovie is my level of movie editing, I can now make a 3D video.
And what do you get? Do you get like a side-by-side?
It's up to you. You can you have the option to do side-by-side. You can do the anaglyph. Whatever you want, and you can constantly switch back and forth. And so you can output it, side-by-side. You can output it old school, red, blue, whatever you want to do.
Okay, so I've got to know before we wrap up, what is kind of the craziest configuration you've ever seen a GoPro put in?
Craziest configuration, I would say right now one of the coolest things I've seen is a company down in Texas who's building a plasma rocket that'll go from the International Space Station to Mars, is using our GoPros in the thermal vacuum chamber to test and analyze their jet propulsion systems. So they had to make sure that our cameras could make it to the moon and back. So that was pretty cool.
That is pretty neat. Thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you very much.
Paul, check this out. We have got to get one of these. It's called the DC Slider. And not only is it like a mini jib here, but it's a slider, which means this guy can just like go back and forth on this rail. And what's even more wicked about this guy, here, let me put this up for a second. You gotta come over here and check this out. We've got a motorized version. So now I can get this wicked shot right here, just sliding up and down this rig. And what's the best is they're talking about writing an iPhone app, something like that, because their motorized version can learn. And then you can set up your shot and then repeat it over and over and over. Like they've got one over here that's demonstrating the motorization. Oh, would you look at that? It's the motorized slider in its natural habitat. It's got a DSLR. It's programmed to the panning and the tilting and the moving up and down, and it's just getting a wicked shot over and over and over. It's the only thing this guy knows how to do is do wicked shots all day. Love this guy. Bet it's expensive.
If you're an IT or software consultant, you're always looking to compete with the big guys. But the problem is you may be a one-man show. You need a remote support tool, and the best is GoToAssist Express. The faster you can connect to a customer, the faster you can move on to the next challenge. Reduce your travel time and increase revenue by supporting multiple requests. Brought to you by Citrix, you know GoToAssist Express is easy and secure. Try GoToAssist Express free for 30 days. For this special offer, visit gotoassist.com/HAK5. Again, that's gotoassist.com/HAK5 for a free trial.
I'm tripping on cables. No, I'm not tripping on cables. Well, that's fantastic. I got the pleasure of being here with Jeremy from Atomos. How are you, Jeremy?
Very well, thank you.
So what is the Ninja?
Okay, well the Ninja, and we announced the Samurai, which is shipping in a few months, but the Ninja is shipping now. A Ninja is a HDMI recorder, playback device, and monitor all in one.
So it's a field recorder, but it's got all of the aspects. So like I was over at Blackmagic looking at their new field recorder.
Yes.
Their solution is they've got HDMI out, so you can have a secondary display Yours is integrated.
Correct.
Now, is that an HD display on there?
Yes, that's an we're displaying HD footage on a 480 by 272, and you get what's called a pixel pitch angle, basically effect. That when you're on your computer and you take a big video and you make it smaller, and it looks higher resolution. So basically, this is definitely a confidence monitor. So you can have a look, you can zoom in on people and make sure that you've got the shot correctly, and I can take you through that and make sure that everyone's.
So what is the standard use for this? How do you imagine consumers to use this?
Well, basically, it bypasses the compression of the camera, gets you beautiful images from the lens and sensor straight out the HDMI or SDI of your camera. But the Ninja's targeting the HDMI market, which is obviously all cameras under like $5,000. And the beauty of the Ninja is that not only does it take these pristine quality images and record directly to Apple ProRes. The reason Apple ProRes is really important is that it's perfect for today's computers, for today's hard disks, so you can record to affordable media. And I'm going to show you here what we record to. We record to Intel SSDs as well, but they're also expensive, just like compact flash, P2 or SD.
Yeah, they can be. So I'm just looking at a regular 2.5-inch laptop drive.
This is a Western Digital 250 gig drive that I bought from Fry's 2 days ago.
So with a 250 gig, how much recording time are you going to get on that drive there in the ProRes?
Well, that's what the Ninja tells us. So let me plug it in so you can see what's going on. Basically, the drive will spin up. You'll see it activate. There we go. We've got record, play, monitor, and menu. And down the bottom here, you see I've got a 1080i 65994.
So it's telling you what you're feeding into the camera, and then in the bottom right, is that telling me how much I have left on the disk?
Correct. So there's three elements to the calculation. There's obviously the format coming in, there's what format you're going to, and then there's the size of the disk and how much time is left. So if I go to ProRes 422, which is 150 megabits a second, HQ's 220, then I get 3 hours, 26 minutes. If I go to ProRes LT, I've got 4 hours, 56 minutes on this disk.
And that's still going to look that might even look a lot better than maybe the AVC HD that your camera would naturally record in.
Not maybe, most definitely. So we're taking 422, 8 or 10 bit from the camera. This is the FS100 that we're recording from now. I'll show you the images coming out of that. That's our monitor, confidence monitor right there. So I can zoom in and out, get the focus right. I can take the overlay off by touching the screen. So this is the only touchscreen device that's available in this type of product. Not only that, when we go back, as you see, as I flick through the ProReses, as the time changes, I can calculate, do I have enough time to record? Do I have enough? Is this going to really do for my shoot? And one of the most important things when you're recording for long periods of time is the battery.
Yeah, I was about to ask, so what kind of batteries? Can I use this with my existing Panasonic batteries? Am I going to have to use JVC, Sony? Do you have your own proprietary?
So basically we use Sony batteries, MP570, that were on all the DV cameras. They're on all the
These are on the old SD style, so you should be able to find these, a plethora of them, for inexpensive.
Correct. And what we've done is we include 2 in the box. And the reason we do that is so you don't have to go out and buy different accessories. But the main point here is that we've got a dual battery system. And
so you can hot swap?
You can hot swap. Let me grab another battery. So this is one of the main features. You can't record for long periods of time without having good battery technology, all right? So if I flick here, you can see I've got half full battery here and a 3/4 full battery there. When this battery gets to very low and about to run out of power, it flicks across to the other side. I can then pull off.
Right, pop that on a charger, swap in a new one.
Recording.
Yeah, while you're recording. That's great. Now, tell me, what about the input resolutions? What resolutions is it going to support in? Am I limited to only like a camera that's going to do a 720p, a 1080i, 1080p, or can I use any HDMI input?
Basically, you can use any HDMI input. The only limitation is the recording speed of the hard disk or the SSD. So as soon as you go above that recording speed, then obviously you can't record on a single disk and you have to go to a rated solution.
So if, say, I were to put it in LT mode and say I was giving it like a computer display over HD, yes. HDMI, would it be able to support it if it was, say, at a resolution of 1024 by 768?
Oh, definitely. Definitely, as long as it's a standard HDMI format. And I'm not sure if actually 1024 is a standard video format, but it has to be a standard HDMI video format. And most computers, when they output, will detect that it's a video device on the other side and adjust their resolution and frame rate to output to to the device.
Now, is there a software component that goes along with this?
Well, yes, it's called the Atomos, so the Atomos operating system. And we designed that from scratch, which is why we can be so responsive on the touch screen and touch device. What I can do is come in, change the batteries very quickly, and I can hit record. I can monitor while I'm recording. You can see the time code flicking over there. Take that off and on. So it's a very robust, easy to use environment.
Okay, so since it's your own OS, I'm assuming we'll see firmware updates, new features, stuff like that.
Yeah, the firmware's really easy. Download it, put onto the disk from the master caddy that we give you, and the docking station that you connect to your computer, and then you pop it in the Ninja, turn the Ninja on. 30 seconds later, you've got all the new features.
So what's the price point on this guy?
Price point is $995, and what it includes is the case, docking station, chargers, 2 batteries, 2 empty master caddies, so that you can fill it with drives from wherever you want to buy them from.
All right, thank you so much, Jeremy.
Cheers, thanks a lot.
That just about wraps up this week's episode of Hak5, but before we get going, no, Shannon's not here to go through the emails with us. We don't have trivia this week because it's a non-standard episode, but I did want to let you guys know that we have an excellent audience participation thing for you guys to get involved in. It's the Crack the Code Challenge. It's going to be happening here Sunday the 24th at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and we hope you guys can join us because we've totally re-engineered the network, and we really hope that you guys can log in and have a lot of fun breaking some codes and doing fun stuff there.
Yeah, and even if you can't get into the code, but you're really interested and you just kind of want to watch, we always have live broadcasts going. Hopefully we have enough people to be able to actually produce talk on screen the entire time instead of just watching us like manage the system.
Yeah, between the moderators, helping with that, and then we've got the YouTube Live, we've got the live switcher now that we've built, so it's going to basically be a show. So even if you're not participating, come in and enjoy it. It'll be kind of like a game show on the internet or something like that. I don't know, it should be fun. The details are over at hak5.org/challenge, and that's where you can find all the details about getting involved in that.
Yeah. I guess a few other things would be check out the store. It's still rolling strong. We still have
the Ubertooths are going to be fulfilling real soon, so get your pre-order in so you can be in that first batch of shipments. Wi-Fi Pineapple, of course, and find out more about any of the stuff you've seen on the show today over at hak5.org. We may have some additional stuff from NAB, as well as plenty of articles. If you remember, that awesome segment you remember from like last year or whatever, most likely it's on the site. They're all categorized, and Paul's doing a great job of plugging them in.
I got through about season 8 and 9. I'm going back in time to about season 4.
That's a good year. That's a vintage Hak5 year.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to finally watch the episode.
Paul, the producer that never watched the episode. Cheers to that. All right. Well, until then, I'm Darren Kitchen.
And I'm Paul Tobias.
Trust your technolust. No, isn't that right, Kirby? She's all like, trust your technolust, right? That's Kitty.
That cat hates you.
Or you could have this crazy guy. Look at this. So I got the script scrolling here, and then on the other side, I've got another iPod. Oh, dang it. I mean, they sell a device for that, but honestly.
It's old school.
Yeah, that's how we do it. Hak5, we got the clap. But that doesn't sound right. We're not using that at all. Probably sell something that does that, but I could do it for cheaper. You'll see. As you can see, it's a strap-on. I'm stabbing myself with the microphone. Stabbing. Ooh. Ooh. Huh? Vegas debauchery. In a box.